Hi guys, it's Kayla here and thank you for coming back to watch another video today. Today I am junk journaling, so it is the first time I have tried in flipping forever. I don't normally junk journal, so this is really exciting. Just to explain what I'm doing at the moment, I have some napkins there that I wanted to put in my journal, so I'm mixing some Mod Podge with some glitter. They're power napkins, so I wanted to kind of try and get that iridescent kind of power thing across, but it didn't really work out in the end and I didn't really like it, but that's okay. That's what junk journaling's about. So anyway, I am so used to collecting things. I keep receipts and movie tickets and brochures and tags, and I like to just keep things and collect things, and I've never really had anywhere to put them. I've never really done anything with them, so it's quite nice to try junk journaling and to see if this is going to work for me as a way of collating memories a bit better. I have tried junk journaling before, but I've never really stuck to it. I think I struggle with the fact it's a little bit more chaotic than my normal style of journaling. I tend to find that I quite like order. I like things to be a bit symmetrical, quite balanced, a little bit tidier. So I struggle with junk journaling, I think, because it uses so many different elements. You know, you're mixing concepts and themes, and it's hard to marry things up, you know, if you're using tags and then you're using vintage papers. And so this is a real challenge for me, but I am excited. I like challenges, so this is going to be really good. It's completely outside my comfort zone, as usual, but I'm really excited to see how we go. And to be honest, I've done a bit more junk journaling since I filmed this, and I actually really enjoy it. I've found it's a really good place to put things that I wouldn't normally put in my regular journal. So my regular journal is kind of more for, I guess you could say it's a little bit more artistic, whereas this is kind of more like just, I found this cute tag on a t-shirt I bought and I wanted to keep it. Whereas that wouldn't normally fit in my regular journal, so it's nice to have a junk journal for that sort of thing, which is really exciting. I used to keep, like, I guess you would call it ephemera as a teenager. So again, you know, movie tickets, graduation books, whatever, and I would put it all in a shoebox, and then at the end of the year I would stick a piece of paper on the top of the shoebox and I would say, you know, 2013 in a shoebox or whatever. And I actually found some of these the other day and I was looking through them, and it just, it was so cool going through these shoeboxes that just, you know, it was so many memories and it was so much fun. So I'm really excited to try junk journaling to see if that is maybe a better way of collecting things than sort of putting them all in a box. So we'll see how this goes. So being the first time that I've junk journaled pretty much ever, and the first time in a while that I've done any kind of journaling whatsoever, I really struggled with this. I find that my creative flow needs momentum. Like, if I don't do anything creative for a while, I find it harder and harder to be creative next time I am creative. So I think I was stagnant too long, and it didn't help that I was trying something completely new either, but I really enjoyed this, so that's okay. Because life here in New Zealand is sort of getting back to normal, it's been really easy for me to just be lazy with my free time, and that's a goal that I set earlier this year, was to try and be more active with the free time that I have, you know, rather than kind of sitting there and just passively watching YouTube or whatever. I'm trying to be more active with my free time. I don't know how else to explain it. So for example, rather than sitting down and watching a 20-minute YouTube video, I might flick through a magazine or, you know, do a bit of journaling or something. I'm trying really hard to be not so stagnant with free time, I guess is the best way to put it. And obviously with work sort of getting back to normal, work tends to be a bit more of a priority than being creative, which for me is quite frustrating, but I guess that's just life. So for a little bit of context, I am a freelancer by trade, well, I'm a journalist by trade, and I freelance currently. So I can structure my day how I want, and I'm really blessed to have quite a lot of freedom in my day. As long as whatever I have to have done is done by the time it needs to be done, I can kind of do it whenever I want, if that makes sense. So this layout was actually done during the workday. I don't know if you can tell or not and whether the lighting changes, but I probably did this over a period of, 5 or 6 hours maybe. Thankfully I have a little filming set up and at my office, so I could just leave it out, and the lighting was pretty similar, which was really good. So I rent out a little office space in a sort of packing warehouse, which is really cool. And I have a desk for my computer and my sort of work bits, and then I also have a workbench, which is a little bit higher. It's kind of like a standing desk, and I don't tend to use that for anything on a regular basis, so it's really cool to be able to leave journaling projects out on that sort of workbench and pop by and work on them. It's kind of like having a puzzle on a table, and you walk past and you kind of put a couple of pieces in and then you walk off and do something. So it's really cool to have my filming setup always out. I don't have to fluff around with tripods and lighting and stuff. It's just constantly set up and it's not in the way, which is really nice. But it is it does have a bit of a downside, sort of having things sitting out to work on all day, because you don't tend to get into that creative flow. And obviously as a freelancer, I need to keep quite a close eye on my emails and my cell phone, so I'm constantly listening for like a ding of a new email come through or my phone ringing so that I can answer it. And so it is good being a freelancer and having so much control over my time, but at the same time it can be frustrating because you work weird hours and you're always like looking out for a phone call. So anyway, I suppose I should probably talk about what I'm actually doing in the video. I know we're like, 6.5 minutes in, but I'll tell you what I'm doing. So the page I'm working on at the moment is all about tea. I drink far too much tea. I love tea so much. And I have a friend in another town who also really loves tea. She's also kind of my pen pal, so it's really nice we get to write each other letters. And anytime I do a tea order, I will message her and be like, hey, I'm placing an order with this place, do you want anything? I actually have another friend that's into tea as well. I love tea friends, they're the best kind of friends. So I have a few people that I like to get in touch with if I'm going to place tea orders, which is quite often, and I tend to order quite a lot at a time, so it's really nice to have other people, other people can benefit from me spending exorbitant amounts of money on tea, and then they don't have to pay shipping, so that's a bonus. So anyway, my friend in this other town that also likes tea, she sent me a parcel just after lockdown finished, and she actually sent me some bubble tea stuff, which was really exciting. So she's given me the instructions on how to make the tapioca pearls, and she also sent me kind of like a ready-made bubble tea, so you just add hot water to it, and that's what that little tea bag is from on the left. So the piece of paper I'm working with at the moment, the kind of brownie one, that is a tea-stained piece of paper from a journal I bought from Lydia at February and June. I watched her Instagram story on how she made it, and when I got it in the mail, I was super excited because I had this tea page in mind. I knew I was going to do something related to tea at some point, so it was really cool to have this piece of paper that I had watched her tea stain and I knew was made with tea to put in my tea pages, so that was really exciting. Anyway, on the right there you can see that orange pouch. That's a tea pouch of a tea that I tried. Didn't really like it, which was a shame because I bought the whole box. So I will drink it, but it's not something I would drink on a regular basis. And then inside that pouch is 2 little tags, which you will have seen me make before, and they have the boxes of 2 teas that I'd finished recently. They were 2 breakfast teas. It was a Melbourne breakfast and an Earl Grey. They were both really nice, so I decided to cut the boxes up and use the labels to kind of rate the tea and to say like what I liked about it, if I would buy it again, how many stars I'd give it. I'm actually thinking of starting a tea journal because I really like trying different teas, and why not, why not just have more journals in my life? Okay, and now this page I'm working on and the very, very first page, so it's the same page. This was a page that I wanted to do because we went up to my husband's parents' house as soon as we could after lockdown. Quite a lot happened during lockdown for my husband's family. There were lots of milestones, there were birthdays, there were achievements, and obviously we all live in different towns, so we couldn't celebrate things together, so we went up there as soon as we could to see them. The cider label on the left-hand side is not mine. I don't like cider. It is my husband's, but the label is really pretty, and I peeled it off the bottle really easily, so I just felt like I had to include it. So I had this white piece of scrap paper, which I don't really know why, but I really liked it. It had like a white paint splotch on it, and I really wanted to use it, so I did, and I'm just looking at the moment for a sticker to go with it. I found this sort of gold star scatter sticker which fit in that corner really nicely. I was really pleased that it fit where that rip was. I'm now going to take forever to tie and glue a bow to the page, which I don't even like in the end anyway. I did enjoy this, I promise, but it was just, I found it really frustrating, and I do think again that that's because I hadn't done anything crafty in such a long time. But I feel like this is a really good indication of how frustrating this page was. I sat here for ages with my finger on the bow. I didn't film the whole thing, I just turned the camera off and didn't touch anything for a while. And then when I pulled my finger up, the bow was stuck to my finger and not the page, and it's just it's such a good metaphor for how I felt doing this journal spread. But it was good for me to do. I think junk journaling could work really well for me because it's a bit chaotic and there's less pressure to make it look really nice, and you can kind of do whatever you want. And I can do that with my normal journaling, but it's different for me. I kind of like having a sort of more layouty, artistic-y journal, and then a junk journal which is kind of more like daily bits and pieces and things that I find that I like and things that I want to remember. It's more in chronological order, I guess, whereas my regular journal is kind of not date specific, it's kind of just things that I think about or whatever, I don't know. Anyway, this gorgeous journal is also from Lydia at February and June. I think she has one left in her Etsy shop. If you're interested, I will put the link in the description box down below. I love this journal. I sit there at night and kind of just flick through all the pages because it's just absolutely beautiful. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully it wasn't a too chaotic video. I'm hopefully going to do junk journaling videos again because I did really enjoy it in the end. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.